found out today, I don't know if this TMI or not, but I found out today that I ain't got fire insurance. So I'm figuring all that out, bro, because my crib burned down. That's just M's wasted, bro. Like, so I gotta figure all this stuff out where, you know, I got insurance for my crib and stuff. Because if I don't got fire insurance, bro, it's a wrap. I just gotta take the L on the chin. I'm not trying to do that. So I'm in the middle of trying to make that work right now. Get my insurance right.
So, as you heard the young brother say how he could potentially be losing out on millions and he doesn't want to take this L. So when I seen this, right, and my heart goes out to everybody in LA, you know, dealing with this, because, you know, this is a reminder that materialistic things are not as important as we think, man. Life is precious, okay? So just like that, everything got wiped out for a lot of people, unfortunately. The government, state of California, they are stepping up. They are putting some policies in place, holding these insurance companies accountable, you know. So they are doing what they can do, but and it's kind of crazy that, you know, I believe it was State Farm that put the article up right here, or, you know, one of these big insurance companies that they canceled 72,000 policies in California in 2024. And this made me think, right? You know how I like to educate you guys about real estate investing, all things real estate, right? This made me think about, like, yo, how many people go without having the correct insurance or asking the right questions. Now, me, I work with one insurance broker, so I'm constantly buying and selling houses, okay? Normally within 2 states. The guy I work with, he's licensed in 2 states. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna put his information on the screen. Brett Zisklin, if you wanna get insured with him. The reason why I like him, because he works with investors and he's very detailed. I know sometimes it could be annoying, sorry Brett, but you want the detailed guy on your side, because when it's time for a claim, he gonna make sure it's taken care of. Brett's the best, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna put his information back here on the screen. If you're in the North and South Carolina area, if you're outside of that, you can see if he works in those areas, but check this out, right? There are so many people who don't have the right insurance outside of this LA situation. I'm hoping with this LA situation, we can start this conversation and talk about this insurance and hopefully regulate the industry from the top, from the government. Insurance companies are great at collecting premiums, but when it's time to pay, that's when it slows down. So the insurance companies, most of these companies are for profit, like, so they want to make a profit. Those adjusters that work for them, etc., they get bonuses at the end of the year for saving the company's money. So they're not necessarily your friend. So you got to get an insurance broker and expose everything you're doing. So for example, if a house is a rental property, right? And the person moves out, and you know this renovation is going to be 4 to 9 months renovation, you know, and if you know that, you need to call your insurance broker and say, hey, listen, I'm doing a full gut renovation on this property. I need a flipping policy, or what we call it is a vacant house policy. Because if the insurance comes out there and they see you had a rental policy on the property, that you was renting the property, and they see that wasn't nobody living there and it's down to the studs, they are not covering that claim. They will use that to not cover the claim. All right? So you want to be careful. If you have an Airbnb property, and this is somebody who went through this, you have to make sure your Airbnb policy covers theft. Okay? You have to make sure, because somebody broke into my joint, right? Broke into one of my Airbnbs, took everything. They didn't take the couch because they couldn't get it out the door. They didn't take the washer and dryer because they couldn't unhook it, but they took all my furniture, all my art off the wall, all my kitchen top appliances. They took everything, wiped me out. And guess what? I didn't have theft on that policy. You know, so, you know, I'm telling you from experience what these insurance companies, you know, do. And it's your, and they'll tell you, hey, it's your responsibility to read your policy. You know, I remember in my early 20s, I got into a car accident. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a rental car because, you know, when everybody else get in a car accident, they say, yo, oh, the insurance company got me a rental. Insurance company got me a rental. They looking at my policy, they like, oh. I'm like, yo, I get a rental car? Oh, let me see about that. Oh yeah, you don't have rental coverage. I'm like, damn, like, who would do that? I didn't even know I had to ask for that. So I learned a lot through the hard way, okay? I'm telling you guys, you wanna be clear what's your intentions with the property. So I got some properties that I rent out the rooms. I went to my insurance guy, he was like, yo, you have to have this type of coverage. Okay, and I made sure I got theft on that too, but you gotta have this type of coverage. And the reason being, if I got just a regular rental property and the insurance company says, yo, you running the boarding house, this ain't the type of insurance you need, guess what? They not covering it. They can use that not to cover it. So, man, as I make this video, if you're dealing with one broker, just talk to them and say, hey, listen, I want to go through my insurance policies, right? And I want to make sure that we got the right thing. I want to make sure that I'm covered under fire. I want to make sure that I'm covered if a tree falls on the house. I want to make sure that I'm covered if somebody breaks into it. Now, this is what I discovered about trees, right? Again, this is something I learned the hard way. If a tree falls in your yard, this is in North Carolina, okay? Well, if it doesn't hit the house, you gotta pay for that to get removed. That's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Okay? Now, I thought I could just sue the neighbor, right? Like, yo, I'm gonna just sue the neighbor to get my money, etc. But nah, it don't work like that. Apparently, from doing my research, I would have to send, before the tree fell, send the neighbor a certified letter that, hey, I think that this tree could fall on my property, it should be taken down. And then if he didn't do it and then it fell on my property, then I can sue him. But so I had to pay for this guy's tree to get removed from my property. Come on, bro. Like, this stuff is a mess. This insurance stuff, man. So yeah, having rental properties, you know, it can be a good thing, but it can get costly. So at least sleep well by knowing you got the right insurance. Now, last but not least, but this is extremely important, for all you smart people who use trust, who use LLC, find out if your insurance is in your personal name, if the property is in a trust or LLC. So whatever the property is titled at, that insurance needs to be titled at as well, okay? And this is why it's good to work with one broker who works with investors. So they'll get this stuff, right? So you can just send them an email and say, hey, listen, these properties got transferred to this entity. Could you retitle these policies, etc.? Because if you bought a property in your personal name and you decide to put it in the trust 5 years later, okay, so you still got the same insurance. Well, the insurance looks up the deed and say, oh, this got transferred to a trust. Nasser has insurance. It's not for the trust. We're not covering this. So you want to make sure everything is titled correctly. Whatever your house is titled, the insurance should be titled that as well. So they can't use that to get out of it. You know what I mean? Insurance is one of those things where it's like, yeah, you don't want to get it, but you need it. All right. So make sure you do the right thing. Now, as far as the people in LA, you know, keep them in your prayers, man. They going through a lot right now. And, you know, hopefully they come back bigger and stronger. So, you know, keep them in your prayers, man. You know what I'm saying? But don't just look at them and say, oh, or whatever, you know, or be glad it's not you, because you want to learn from this situation. How do you learn from that situation? Hey, let me make sure my insurance is right on this. Don't just let this go in vain, man. I'm telling you, bro. You know, it's real out here. So Hey, check out this video on my Airbnb when it got broken into. Look, I'm Nasser, aka the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a doer because I actually do this business. Peace.